Howdy, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Rising Legends, Chapter 3. I, of course, am your kind of beloved overlord, real god extraordinaire. Here, deal with 2015 with one jump of the point, boy, fly, Flutter guy 98.
Oh, gee.
Our Crimson and Father Kyoto Crimson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's late. Let's get this done. I've been up since 2 this morning.
Oof.
Our Spirit King Hiiro.
Hero has died.
Hiiro?
We need a hero.
Damn it.
Anyway.
There we go.
Oh, we had him. He's gonna hurt you, you know.
No, Sentai, he's not going to hurt DL, he's just not going to heal him.
Anyway.
Never piss off the party cleric.
Yeah, Spirit King Hiiro.
No.
Oh, now we can speak.
Speak, why don't you speak?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Anyway, moving on.
Our Goblin playing Goblin Sentaifan.
Hey, everybody.
And finally, our lovable DM, Markus.
Hello. Sorry, it's time to get this party started. Let's do it.
Lost hero. No.
And you're a drop.
Oh, no.
No!
Did he really?
DL, why are you...
Why do you have...
What the hell?
Open?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's been a while, okay?
Like 2 weeks. It's still...
It's... Anyway. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, great.
Oh, not... One shit after another. And I just had to deal with a little shitstorm, you know, at my house, and now...
Calm down,
I
calm
see.
down.
Sorry.
I see 2 storm giants and...
Well,
Oh,
mom,
no.
fuck out.
Anyway.
Oops.
Also on the subject of fantasy stuff. Pour one out for poor Hagrid.
Yeah, I saw that.
You have to remind me.
I mean, first we lost Mrs. Price, now we lost Hagrid. But if any of you do not get the reference to that character, game.
I don't get it. I feel no shame.
Scotty, you rarely feel shame.
So
It's not an emotion that's really needed in life.
So I guess no one's ever watched the classic that's Bent-Ups and Broomsticks.
Oh, I have. It's been a long time.
I have
was
not.
Probably a kid when I saw it. Yeah.
Anyway, we've got some giants in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Your Majesties, what do we have the pleasure of your visit down to us?
Shouldn't we wait until Hiiro gets back?
He'll be right in, but let's just...
I was waiting for him to get on to the call at least so he could hear what's going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll just move back over since I was hiding in the corner.
That's fine. You're welcome to move over. I moved these folks into place. I will let you know that when you hear them actually coming down the stairwell. If you wish to do something before they get down to the thing, then that's up to you.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Do you?
Do I?
What? I was just about okay.
Just about.
I was worried for a second there.
Also, DLBot, I get my PC back tomorrow, so if you have a time when you are free, I would like to try and get War out of the way.
Thankfully, DL's off of work tomorrow, so.
I also made plans with my grandpa, too, but I don't think that should take too long.
I mean, Flutter, tomorrow is Saturday. I'm busy on a Saturdays anyway. I was just saying any other time we could make available because I still need to get the PC, set it back up, reinstall voicemail, need to reinstall OBS, I need to reinstall my capture program.
Ooh.
Daniel's got to do that too, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a new PC ready to go that needs to get all that stuff on it so he can move off and onto the new one.
Ah.
By the way, Wednesday is when that computer desk comes in. Get you off that table you're on.
Yay!
Hey, the most rejoicing.
Let's see if he has an ETA.
Hold on, guys.
He's not to us being a real pain in the butt.
I got you.
He was mentioning that earlier.
All right, 1 to 2 minutes.
Also, I borrowed a quote from one of our other members.
Yeah.
I'm aware of YGM and their issues. Technology. I'm sitting here on a 6-year-old Chromebook waiting for the PC to come back because this thing's slow.
Yeah, trust me on this guy. I had to use a Chromebook myself until I got actual. Sorry.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just I can count the frames when I'm moving around the map.
Did you mention the computer we built?
I know I mentioned it to them. And I did.
It's
welcome back, Hiiro.
It's super beefy.
Wow.
That thing boots from being turned off, it hits Windows in 20 seconds.
Damn.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We can't run Crisis.
Are you there, Hiiro? Give us a sign. An audio sign.
Mm-hmm.
Hiiro?
Bueller.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Fucking gag me with a spoon. I hate this.
You want a silver or gold spoon?
I don't care.
Sentaifan, do you want a bear? You want a spork?
Well, that's actually it.
Also, spoon!
No, I heard
Okay, tech. Calm down. Oh, yeah, so, I'm guessing we hear them come down the stairs.
Before anyone drops off again, let's go ahead and begin.
Yeah.
You have just, I think you just felled the fire giant, I believe.
Yep.
No sooner does he hit the ground and you you have time to kind of get the party together. Nick's kind of moves over. You hear footsteps coming down the staircase, and you see as they get down and the last ones kind of come down at the bottom of the stairs. You see Mirren that you met already that brought you down here and had you come down in there. She says, "Sarissa, see, it's just as we suspected. They're assassins. They've murdered part of your court. And
Murdered, you say?
And Nim, her sister,
Murdered.
says, "Yes, assassins."
Excuse me, my fair maidens. I have no murderer. These men are merely knocked unconscious. We do not wish to cause any harm to your people. We just want to help. I mean, are you going to leave out the information that you guys sent these 3 Neanderthals down to us?
So you
Or were
basically.
you going to... I'm going to call them out on their bluff.
So you're saying you're basically calling out that they attacked you.
Basically, calling out.
Mhm.
Calling out.
Yeah.
They want to send them down here. Basically.
So you hear. So both the other 2 storm giants that are flanking this young storm giant female right here they kind of whisper in her ear, like, you know, the kind of like you see Congress and they're like putting their hand over the mic. They're kind of whispering to her, and she you see her kind of her brow furrows and she looks down and she says, assassins would not show this kind of mercy. Is it what is it you came here for, small ones? My name is Sarissa, and I am the ruler here, heir to the throne of King Hekaton.
Pleasure to meet you. My boy Hiiro over here remembers everything. Throwing you under the bus, Hiiro. I forget why we're here. It's been that long.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering this correctly, this is going to be slightly out of character, so I can remember this correctly.
Okay.
We're here to obviously help figure out what happened to King Hecton, and potentially if we can find him, if we have to, right?
Okay, that sounds. So you basically came here for an audience with her, is what you came here for that reason. So if you're stating that you're requesting an audience, then the 2 sisters start to balk. You know, we can't bring these dangerous creatures into the throne room. So you know that small folk were responsible for the death of your mother. They're probably responsible for the disappearance and probable death of our father. And so,
Awful accusing and very nervous there, my lady. I mean, if you want to take us to the throne room, we'll happily leave our weapons down here.
okay.
And here's the thing, I'm just gonna say
In all honesty, you guys saying that our small people killed your mother, where's your proof? If there was human weapons laid at the battleground, they could have been planted.
Yeah. But here's the and looking them both directly in the eye. And when a small folk do this, and I'm going to go over to each of these giants and use up literally a cure wounds on each of them to bring them back up.
Okay. Good.
Uh-oh, he's going to bring back the fire giant.
And you do, and you basically with it doesn't matter. There'll be low hit points.
I'll just roll like one for one of them basically. And just
That's
for everybody then.
Sure, that's fine. And I mean, now that they're up, I'm kidding.
No, not again!
Bring the turn on. So they're very woozy and dazed. This frost giant over here, actually, when he comes to and sees you guys, actually does kind of a kneel and kind of a bows his head to you. These other 2 just at the obviously looking back at Mirren and Nim, she waves them off and they step back like out of the way. So Sarissa nods her head and says thank you, and she looks at her sisters, both of them in turn, and says, definitely not the work of assassins. And I'm going to move us to another map. So give me a moment. She beckons you to follow, and we're going to be going to
the amount of nerves I had, if that could have gone horribly wrong, but I did it because I wanted to be cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know? It worked.
I mean, I didn't trust these 2 when we first met them, so that's why I called them out.
I mean, yeah.
Never
The reason why I did it though is is because like I knew if we did it for her sake, like obviously the queen in this scenario, she trusted us a lot more if at least one of us brought them back up after they saw them down.
Mm-hmm. They were hoping we would kill them. In all honesty. Look, I'm just going to nudge over to Rex. Do not mention him, please.
So who am I missing on this screen here? I know
I'm
it
just-
is actually.
You
I got.
You didn't transfer the map yet, I'm guessing.
Nope. I'm not yet. I'm actually moving folks and I'm moving you guys into place because you are basically brought up in front of the throne room. Let me go ahead and unfog of war it, and then I will.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like it's almost like I know how to not be a murder hobo.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, in all honesty, me being a rogue, I technically am an assassin. It's just I can stay my blade if I want to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
like
what's it-
considering the
okay.
people you're around, obviously you would know that we're in the situation we're in. Killing them would prove them right.
I mean, if one of you guys was knocked unconscious during the fight, which you were, and I was particularly
I mean,
eager,
protecting us would have
could
been
have
different
done
entirely. Like,
Okay, you guys are led back up the stairs. You remember the big open room you're in where they were playing the big giant crab, and there was the people, the giants that you fought were earlier, minus the stone giant that are was it
I think it was
one of the giants you talked into leaving. The other three you
was it
fought.
Cloud? I think it was Cloud.
It was a cloud giant.
It was a cloud giant. You're correct.
Yeah, because the stone, fire, and frost stay behind.
Yep. You're correct. So you're brought past two ogres that are kind of hanging out in the past them, two storm giant guards. And if you look, you are on the map. If you're looking for that, it is on towards the right, a little bit halfway down the thing, and you can see you in front of.
Where if you're still inside the room where we were earlier, just take the scroll bar and just go down. It should still have the focus on the crab room. Just take the bar on the right and just go down. You'll get there within a couple seconds. It won't take
All
that
right.
long.
So. All right. And then give me a moment, and we will get ourselves started.
The thing was though, right after I did it, immediately nerves hit me so fucking fast when I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna go wrong with it, but it was like one of those things. It was like, please God, let her see this as a sign of good faith.
No, that was actually a very good move, and that and the healing after showed very much that's the case.
That might have been like the cherry on top of the cake, basically.
So she brings you in, and you're in the throne room is like an amphitheater kind of. There's you had to go down some very big stairs leading down. You went, so you came in. So I don't know if you see, you came inside like a little tunnel. And once you came in, it opened up into this big amphitheater size room. There's bleachers that were overlooking the chamber. There's like a pool of like salt water or seawater like in the center, and they're like the archway that you came in went underneath you went under like a tunnel to get there.
If I might ask a small mapping question, what's the other two sets of blue lines about? The ones over here.
That is where the water is coming from, the seawater.
Oh, okay.
So that is if you were to go in that pool and try to like swim for any reason, which I don't know why you would right now, but that would lead you to where that leads, basically.
Yeah.
Possible escape route if things go south.
I'm sorry.
Possible escape route if things go south.
Yep. And south looks like it's open too. But where you're at, you cannot see from that vantage point. You see that there are basically three enormous like thrones, and you can see. I can move. I still got it on the.
If you look at the
you can see there are thrones, and the most grandiose in the center is where Sarissa sits, flanked by her 2 advisors. You see her sisters kind of are standing flanking you guys, looking none too happy. I don't think it takes an insight check to see that they are. They seem to be very distrusting of you and what have you. So
I'm just gonna say this right now. Like Kai's doing like the same thing, like looking side to side every so often, just like I don't trust these 2 like he's not saying it outwardly, but he's like thinking I don't trust these 2 standing right there.
okay.
In response to that, Nexus is going to look up and go, "Feelings mutual."
Easy Angus like nodding.
You know what the worst part is?
Oh,
He said what I was thinking.
So they've led you up here. Everyone takes their places, and Sarissa, who's in the center, says, "So compassionate small folk. You've gone to some great effort to be here, and some great effort to show that you pose no threat. You have your audience with the Queen of the Storm Giants. What say you?"
Oh, just if I'm gonna be the one speaking, you gotta give me a minute because the nerves from a few seconds ago are still hitting me.
I mean, if just decide who wants to speak and someone can talk.
It's clear
Not
it's
it.
gonna be thrown into the. It's clear it's gonna be thrown here.
This is your role play opportunity. This is you're talking to her.
Okay.
So
Just had to take us a couple seconds to.
No, man.
Wind down just a little bit.
I mean,
take your
if
time.
any of the other party members want to throw a word in, I'm pretty sure they can have some. Give Hiiro some time.
I'm good.
No,
Sure.
I'm fine now. I'm good. I'm good now.
Right.
It just took me a minute to. Well, we're here because of. Now, this is the part that I'm saying here is gonna be our character. I'm not gonna say who led us here, but I'm gonna obviously.
Well, I mean, I'm listening. Say what you're gonna say.
No, I'm not gonna say the name because I'm not that dumb.
That's fine. How are you? I'm listening. How are you saying it?
We were guided here by somebody to either help find or find out what happened to your father as King Hector. So we would need to know like where to potentially.
She
start,
said.
if I remember that correctly. If I remember that correctly.
Her eyes kind of open very widely, and she says, "So, do you believe my father yet lives?"
Yes, I mean,
Yes.
we don't know for 100% sure, but we do have some suspicion
Yeah.
that he might still be alive to this very day.
And with that, her 2 sisters, both kind of grumble, and they're like, "Sarissa, we know you're keeping up hope, but Father's been gone for so long. He would have returned if he was able." And and she shrugs them off and like puts her hand up to silence them. Now, the man on her, the male storm giant on her right, says,
I believe this one.
that would be the one on her right. So yes, right there. So he says,
Yeah.
I would advise you, Queen, do not trust the small folk. That's all. I'm only here to protect you. Do not trust them. And she
Sounds
says,
like somebody's being a simp.
she looks over and says, Uther, I appreciate your and just in case you need to remember the names, you know what? We're gonna put this right in here so you're aware. Mirren and Nim are the sisters.
Yes. I mean, I think we already knew their names from last time.
She just called her male advisor Uther.
Okay.
Lex Luthor?
Lex.
I know. I was making a joke.
It's actually ex Uther. So the queen is Sarissa, and then the other advisor obviously turns and says, "I have to agree with Uther. And your sisters. Like your dear father loves you so much. He would not stay away. If he was alive, he would find his way back here." And she says, Limrith, I understand how you feel. I have hope that my father's still alive, and these small folk came to me with such effort and such compassion that I have to hear them out. And I believe, she goes, I haven't seen a body, and she starts getting very animated and emotional. She says, I believe my father yet
Thank you
lives.
so much.
She
So do
says,
we, ma'am. So
she says,
do we.
and she looks at you guys very kindly, and she says, when I was a child, my mother would take me on trips to the Sword Coast and the Moonshay Isles, and we would meet small folk, and they were always generous and kind. And I know there's been conflict, but I believe that your kind is inherently good. And she reaches into like a hidden pouch kind of inside her outfit, and she pulls out a tiny, like you can barely see it on her hand, a tiny like circular piece of wood, and she beckons someone to come forward.
I mean, of course, considering the whole thing, I'll take the. I'm not actually gonna. I'll just take the step. Like it's
Okay.
It's hard to do that without getting extremely.
And so you come forward, and she reaches out her hand, and on the tip of her hand is a small. It looks like a small wooden coin, and she like for you to take it.
And obviously, consider keeping up the good faith here, taking it very gently as to not provoke anything extra.
Right. So no, and you do, and that's and it's and yep, takes it, and let me see if I have a. Let me see if I have a. I think I have it. Yes. I'm going to show this to you all, and we're going to add it to your journals. This is the coin.
The golden goose.
It's got a golden goose painted on it. It looks like otherwise it's pretty unremarkable. It's about half the size of a typical gold coin. So let me. I need to do a quick peek at some character sheets real quick to see if I can tell you any more than I have just told you.
Okay.
So give me a quick moment.
I'm gonna write it in my little treasure thing because I'm gonna.
You can.
And as you're doing that though, Kai is going to open up like a pocket, like one in the inside of his jacket, and just lightly place it inside of there.
You're going to take
taking that close to his heart, basically.
You accepting bribery, Cairo?
No, I'm just.
Nick says with a smirk.
Taking some good faith. looking like slightly, not looking straight back at him, but looking with a little bit of a side eye. No, I'm just keeping the good faith going.
Okay.
Also, Nix is currently just making a mental note. Don't trust the bitches behind him, and don't trust the dudes in front of him.
Well, the ones on the side, though, I can trust them more than the sisters because they're just advisors. I can't trust.
Yeah, but why would they immediately side with the sisters rather than trying to console her? Seems a bit suspicious.
The thing is, though, Sky. The thing is, though, remember with the advisors, if you notice the way they were talking in a purely neutral tone. It's been so long that obviously, how can they be fully sure he's still alive? Obviously, Sarissa.
I mean, if there's been no body, no physical evidence of foul play.
All right. So, I will tell you that's all you know about that. But she will tell you once you take it, and I will say when she hands it to you, the sisters, I need to put the female advisor.
You didn't put her name in
there.
So yes, the female advisor is. It's
that's a woman.
Imrith, yes, the one that's on the left there.
It's a woman.
Imrith. They all. There is definitely a look of surprise, like they're a little puzzled when she brings this out, and she hands it to him. She says, and she tells you. She says, You need to find out where this came from. I believe the people who murdered my mother might also have kidnapped my father. And this wooden coin is the only clue I have to his whereabouts.
That's what I was also
Considering,
I'm sure I can get a few of my contacts in the small world to figure
I
something
mean,
out.
considering Kai's like whole thing with being obviously the way he is, would I be able to maybe do like an investigation on it to see if I could figure out maybe just like a region where it came from potentially?
Right now, based on all of your backgrounds and stuff that I looked at, no one has the knowledge right now to, in this setting where we're at, without doing some investigation somewhere else.
Okay.
No one knows what this coin would be. No one, it would not have crossed anyone's path. So that's what I was checking on your. That's what I was checking for a moment ago when I was looking at your sheets.
Wanted to check to see if I could. Just wanted to see if I could attempt it.
I mean, no, there's no success score for that because you just simply don't know to where this would have come from. But she tells you that one of the storm giants who found the queen's body also found this coin and gave it to me, thinking it was my mother's. And she looks at her advisors and her sisters, and she says, "I'm sorry." She goes, "I didn't tell you about the coin. I wanted to make sure that when there was an opportunity to follow up on this lead, that nothing stopped me from doing it. That no one talked me out of it. I don't know what it represents." She tells you. She turns back to you. "I don't know what it represents, and I hope you can find out if it leads somewhere to find my father.
You know,
Will you accept this quest and take this to go try to locate the king and return him to us?"
We shall,
will.
Your Majesty. I'm sure I can get a few of my contacts in a.
we will try what we can.
I'm trying to remember the name of the city.
We-
Waterdeep.
Yeah, basically, we'll see what we can.
Okay.
We-
So she will lead you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Who else is? What you got to say?
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Hey, when we return, we will either return with more information, and your father, or 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 what else might have happened.
I mean,
Very good.
basically, summarizing it, basically, just out of character wise, it's basically just for the audience. Basically, we'll be coming back here with news, regardless, good, bad, or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, just as another token of good faith, Nex is going to offer a life debt for this. Should we come back with information that may not be to your liking, Nex will offer up his life in exchange.
Okay.
You know what?
Just as a token of good faith. So should we come up with nothing and come back here empty-handed, a life for a life.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm backing him up on this. I'm not.
Okay.
He's not gonna be the only one doing this.
Okay. Okay. Is everyone forfeiting your life if you don't come back with positive information, or with information to assist? Okay.
Shit.
Wow.
Looks like we have to, otherwise we look like fucking cowards.
Well, she smiles at you all, and with definite some genuine warmth, and she says, "My small friends, that won't be necessary. To my eyes, you have proven yourselves, and I wish you the best of luck. Please follow." And she leads you down the hallway behind her into this cave, and you guys can follow, and her people kind of just flank her a little bit. You know, they're kind of over the place, and her sisters just kind of stay out. They're not even going in.
You know, I'm just out of character. Am I the only one connecting this storm giant to somebody we used to travel with?
Sentai?
Hmm?
Mind following us?
Yeah.
Just purely out of character here for a second, just to take a second to think about it. Am I the only one connected to this storm giant to someone we literally used to travel with? Not even literally two a little bit ago. Am I the only one doing this right now?
Nah.
It's like Storm. No, was he a storm giant or what?
No, he was a frost.
Frost. Oh,
right.
Harshnag was a
Oh,
frost
right.
giant.
Okay.
Yes.
For a second, I forgot what giant he was. Okay.
Yeah, he was a frost giant before the
Okay.
blue dragon killed him and destroyed the temple. So she leads you to this cave, and this cave is it's obviously natural formed. It's like the walls are just glowing with all this bioluminescence. There's it's beautiful. There's different auras. You kind of, for those of you who are magically inclined, you don't know exactly what it is, but you can tell like there's just a feeling of magic strong enough that even the folks who aren't well attuned know there's something magical about this room.
I mean, I could literally detect magic if I wanted to know exactly what it was, but I don't think it really matters.
Right. Well, so she is able to. She goes, where I can send you anywhere from here. Where do you wish to go to begin your search?
I believe the destination we need to go to for a different reason, because we could probably kill two birds with one stone with this. Wasn't it Waterdeep?
Nope.
Or where was
There's
it?
another place. I mentioned Waterdeep.
Okay.
Waterdeep is good because it has a lot of connections, especially if we happen to come across a certain individual in that city, which is also very, very risky. I believe there was also another quest we were doing where we had to find a certain group in another town we were on our way to. Then we doubled back to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to remember where that was.
And who is currently keeping the conch of teleportation? Who has that on them?
I think that might have. Hold on, let me check. That might have been me. Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
All
right.
He's a magic. Well,
so does everybody agree that Waterdeep is where you want to go?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's one of the best places we have to start from, we should probably go there.
Okay. She looks at you, Cairo, and she says, motioning at the conch she sees out of your pack, she goes, "Keep that. That's for you to return when you have information." And
obviously,
she does.
Like pulling it out of having it pulled out of the bag of holding, just to
She
show it fully.
she does some incantations. She touches like some of the creatures on the walls. Everything shimmers, and the last thing you hear is they're saying, "Good luck, may Anam guide you, small ones. I hope to see you soon with information, or my father." And at that, you appear at the front gates of Waterdeep. You all just appear there with all your stuff. I don't have a Waterdeep map, but this is a theater of the mind at this point. And what are you going to do in Waterdeep, guys and gals?
I would say, if anything, we should probably go take a long rest first, because, dear God, we are all low.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Wait.
Sure.
Double digits.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I just found out what we can use for found out what the teleportation and sound effect sounds like.
Is it Star Trek? Is it going to be
Oh.
Star Trek?
No, come on.
Waiting. What? Oh, is it the TARDIS?
Yes.
It works.
Okay, Cairo, we've got a problem.
Anyway.
The city of Waterdeep. Oh. This is going to be fun.
So,
If-
Waterdeep is a bigger city. I'm going to go ahead, and you've got plenty of gold, but I'm going to go ahead and say we are in for a little more expensive stay. But even then, the best place staying, there's plenty of inns. I'll say that's going to cost you a gold each for a stay, and that includes your food as well.
I mean, I'm pretty
Too
sure
bad
we
for what?
have the gold to pay for this. I'm pretty sure we're fine.
And Waterdeep, you guys haven't in a while. At least while you've been traveling, you haven't been to a city like Waterdeep. Like Waterdeep, like when you go in through the gates, you're like, okay, this is not a town. This is a city.
Big.
Like this is for those of you who have been in other places like Neverwinter or Baldur's Gate. This is that kind of city. Waterdeep is known as the City of Splendor or the Crown of the North. It's got anything you could want.
Basically,
in it.
if you have a name for it, they probably can find somebody that has it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the place that if you're looking for something specific, if they don't have it, someone could probably get it. And
It's also a place It's also a place I know you can come for a lot of information from a certain individual if you have enough coins to give.
Waterdeep is actually broken up into different districts. There is a so do you have is there a specific, let me tell you what the districts are and kind of give you an idea, and you can tell me if there's a certain place you want to stay or a certain place you want to look, I guess, for information or what have you.
I mean, the place to stay, just honestly, it wouldn't really matter what inn. It's the place to stay for the night.
Okay. Well, you come in through the north gate into the field ward, which is like kind of a lower end, and that takes you into the north ward, which looks a little more affluent, maybe. If you ask, someone says, "Hey, there's an inn and a tavern down this street. It's called Troll Skull Manor." You should be able to find some lodging there. So that's where you guys, if that's fine, then you guys can stay there tonight. Very uneventful. Again, adventurers are not looked at with any kind of novelty because there's at least one or two other parties you see on the street and you saw when you were in the tavern itself. So definitely, I think you've been hitting places like small towns. You've just gotten to New York City. As far as how big this town is.
Basically, that's it. We just went from the small leagues to the big leagues in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, it's just a much bigger place. Now, is there? So where are you trying to? What are you doing next? So you can go ahead and put yourself up on your long rest. Everything is proper.
It feels so good seeing my sheet back with full numbers. Holy shit.
Oh, right. I should probably do that too.
What's up?
I mean, we did a long rest just now. So all the numbers back to full.
Manually having to do it because I don't think there's a long rest button in this. Take a look.
That would be a cool feature for Roll20. Like on a character sheet, there could be a long rest button that would just automatically fill out all the info.
Just update everything.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, D&D Beyond does that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about for here though.
I know.
Okay, well, I guess we settle down here for a couple of days and start listening around, asking people if they know whereabouts this coin may hail.
And just to be safe with this, I'm not going to be taking the coin right away. I'm just gonna take the coin out for the first couple minutes since I don't really have to sleep and just make an actual just pretty much almost not one-to-one sketch, but an extremely close coloration of the coin to just have a sketch on paper so that way I don't have to take the coin in now every time we do something.
So I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the Discord channel just so you're aware of where you're at. That is, and you can zoom in, that is basically Waterdeep. You came in through the north gate. If you go down and look on to go down to Delzorin Street, you're staying at that little blue building on the corner of Troll Skull Alley.
On my phone, the image hasn't loaded.
Yeah, same with mine.
Has what?
it just didn't load. It just didn't load. Period. Like it just failed to load. Apparently.
Oh, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to click into it. It's much bigger than.
No, like I clicked on the image and it says failed to load the image like at all.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me click
Wait,
on it.
there we go.
If you click open original, it doesn't show up.
It does. Well, it does for me. I clicked on the.
Same here.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
just, I can just save. I can save.
There
the
we
image.
go.
Yeah. It's so again. So now you've stayed. You've had your night. You've had your rest. What are you guys gonna do?
Obviously, I'll obviously look towards Nix and say, well, if you know who we need to talk to, obviously, you lead the
I
way.
mean, traveling around the Sword Coast, you do get to know people. It's just Waterdeep is known for a certain individual. Not too sure I want to deal with him.
And that individual is.
Who are you talking about?
Xanathar.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
That's yeah, but that's not someone you're gonna. That's not someone that there's a house that you can just go in. You can try to find some Xantharans.
Because if there's one thing you need to know is information comes at a price.
Okay. So tell me. So is that so? You are looking for. So Nyx is looking for the criminal element to try to get contact with someone with Xanathar to see if they know anything or can identify this. Does anybody else have? Is there a parallel option? Is anyone else going to be doing anything while he's doing that to try to find any information?
I got nothing.
Neither do I.
Not that I can really think of besides potentially going on like a small little trying to get some extra items for just to buy.
yeah, that might help too.
Okay,
Like
so
potions.
Yeah.
all right, you can. Let's go ahead and do me a favor. Let me think of what the good role for you would be. I guess you're investigating as you're trying to. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a skill challenge. It's impromptu. It's impromptu skill challenge. Here we go. So Nick, since it's all in your hands right here for this. So skill challenge means you need 3 successes before you get 3 failures. And that'll determine what you find out or if you find out anything. So tell me the first thing you're trying to do. You're leaving the tavern and you are going where and what are you going to do? Who are you talking to? Where are you going?
I'm going to travel around the North Ward
Okay.
and roll an investigation to try and find some Xanatharians.
So you're trying to identify so let me think. You're trying to identify by sight someone who might be either in the garb or have markings of a Xanathar. Okay, gotcha. Then yes. Roll an investigation check. Good. So that's going to be a D4 added to that. Very good. Very good. You actually spot a couple of people going into down an alleyway that once you trail them, you see they go into what from when the door opened and closed looks like it may have been a tavern, but I mean there's no windows. They have like the wood over the windows and it's all black and the door is kind of nondescript, but you see them go into this room. That's 1 success. Tell me what you're doing next.
And obviously, he can use that.
Next, I'm going to
the good part about that
use my cloak and boots of elven kind.
Okay.
I'm going to do a stealth check to try and sneak in and follow them. See if they lead me anywhere.
So go ahead and roll your stealth check, please.
I have advantage of this due to both the cloak and the boots. Also
it.
make no noise because of the boots, and they have disadvantage to see me.
Let's see it. Okay, definitely a success. So it is like a little tavern, but it's kind of like the taverns you were in earlier, like you stayed in last night, and the one where you had breakfast this morning was like very nice. It's like, you know, a decent, like, good meal. The lighting is very nice. This place, and probably the reason why you're so successful when you slip in, is that you had to time it where you slipped in behind somebody, but with your cloak and your boots and the shadows in this place, it looks like a seedy dive bar. Definitely, the clientele looks rough. There's some races that you don't see a lot, like a lot of Waterdeep is more human, dwarf, elf. You don't see a lot of like tieflings, or you even see like there's even like a lizard folk, kind of like you can see from his underneath his cloak. You see like his face. But yeah, you slip into the corner and you do see the two people you identify as Xantharans that have taken up residence at a table in the corner. No one has identified or seen you yet. You kind of went in and then slipped immediately into the shadows. What's your next move?
I need to word my next move very carefully here, because I either screw up and I get absolutely destroyed in a bar fight, or because I'm more particularly known in my local D&D games for not having much of a silver tongue, especially when actually playing classes that have high charisma.
Which, right before he goes in there, thankfully I didn't go in there because I would have stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, at this point, you guys are back at the very least not around. He went and did this on his own, which is the only way he's been successful, because a party out there with the at least, even especially like, you guys are standing out a little bit. You weren't much in the tavern, but the fact that you're of non-human races, especially like the Warforged, is very drawing a bunch of attention. The goblin very much so, and some people kind of pulling away. Really, it's and tieflings are generally regarded in some human
which
communities
I'm gonna have my hood up to like
that's fine. But the folks that have seen you have been like a little bit wary. You're drawing a little more attention just in the open if you leave the tavern than if you were in there and they were used to adventurers passing through.
The entire time that we've been in this town, I've had the hood up. Like, they might see the skin color, but like that's about all they've seen.
So,
because in a lot
so the two guys are sitting at the table. Can I use a because I don't exactly want to try and just jump in with a, hey, you guys mind tell me if you know if this guy Hecaton's alive?
Oh, and I'll also say
before, here's the thing. Does he have the coin?
I would have given him, like, I would have rolled up a piece of paper that I did last night with the coin on it and given him that, basically.
So you had like
take the coin out randomly.
You did like an etching where you like did the charcoal over a piece of paper or something, so you have an image of it. Okay.
And obviously, like,
okay, so
fine gold, like maybe like with a little bit of like just kind of scrape out gold dust, making it look a little more.
So okay, so you're making a picture, the best you can, representation of the coin. Gotcha. Yes. Okay.
So see the table these guys are sitting at. How many chairs are at it?
There's actually 4 chairs. Okay, hurry back. There's 4 chairs at the table, and they're sitting in the 2 that are facing out of the corner, and there's 2 chairs kind of in front of them that are facing the corner.
Nix is going to slide into one of the chairs and kind of rest his chin on his fist.
They were kind of like talking low to each other, and one of them, the one that's so they're both human, at least for what you can tell. The one on the right has a scar that goes from like above his brow, like obviously where he probably, if he was lucky to not lose an eye, all the way down like across his lip, like someone got him across the face with a sword. So he kind of looks up and sneers, and he goes, "I think you have the wrong table, friend."
Maybe. Also, just to say, I do look human to these guys, even though I'm not.
Right.
I'm back.
Again, I'm
Welcome
glad
back.
I didn't go with, because I have no way to make myself look human right now. I have no spells to do that.
So okay, so you're making a picture of the best you can representation of the coin. Gotcha. Okay.
So you're making a picture of the best you can representation of the coin. Gotcha. Okay.
So he's just going to pull a bit of parchment and says, "I'm not looking to cause any trouble, my friend. I'm just looking for a bit of information."
Okay.
I'm not local to Waterdeep. I've travelled a bit. I'm just looking for a bit of info on this coin as he slides the parchment forward. I'll be happy to pay for your information.
So he
Not
pulls
cause any trouble.
he pulls the paper. He nods, just like he understands now. This is maybe a business transaction. I would like you to roll a with advantage with how you approached it. I would like you to roll a persuasion check, please. This will be the
24.
Very good, very good. All right. So he takes the paper. He takes the paper and looks at it, and he says, "Oh, yeah, I know what this is." And he pushes the paper back to you.
So how much will this information cost?
He says, I don't know. I see a man like you coming into a place like this. I figure you're obviously not worried about your own personal safety, so it's got to be worth quite a bit to you. He looks at
After myself failing a fight, it's just I know it's best to get information from the locals and not the people tending to be locals.
Right. He his friend leans over and whispers to him, and he says, "Okay." He says, "You got 50 gold on you?"
They got him back here to bump
You
us up.
you guys don't understand how much wealth you guys have accumulated. It's a lot.
No, that's why I'm saying if they got him not there.
I may have 50 gold coins in my purse. So
Guys, I swear,
that is.
I got more than 50 gold on this table. I swear to God.
He's just going to take a small wee pouch out of his bag, put 50 gold coins in, slide across the table.
All right. They take it, and he's like, "All right." He says, "I'll tell you what I know." And did I not put the coin thing in your? Is it in your journals currently?
It should be.
Because I thought I did, but now I don't see.
Oh,
I see it.
If you go to the journal and scroll down on that, it says chapter 11 cotton the
Oh, it's in the chapter. Okay, gotcha. So
it's right inside chapter 11. Yes.
He says this. He goes, "This coin here that you're looking at." I said, I'm guessing you're not much of a gambler. He goes, "It's a gambling chip."
He said,
"Huh?"
I was just making a note on my phone about it.
Yep. He says it's a gambling chip. I mean, any gambling halls have chips like this. And he looks at it and he flips it around. He's like, he looks over at his person that's with him and he goes, "Jocko, golden goose." And he kind of scratches his head. He goes, "I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've been to a golden goose. We could do a little more research for you. We've got some connections. I can tell you what it is. Give me a day or two. We could probably tell you where it came from."
Thank you.
He slides a piece of paper. He slides a piece of paper back to you, and he says, we have some expenses. Let's say, I don't know, 20 gold each for next 2 days. That'll put you out another 40, and we'll have an answer for you, or your your money back, and you can bring the money when we give an answer for you. How about that? You've been so generous already.
Could literally expedite the process by because with the amount of obviously out of character wise.
Next is just like going through. Next is just like You keep the 50. That can be the down payment. I'll have the other 40 for you
Okay. So
by the end of the 2 days. I shall meet you guys back here then.
back here is fine. Let's say 8 bells. It's 8 o'clock.
8 bells.
8 bells.
8 bells. 2 days. Nix is going to stand up from the table. He's going to tip his coat hood, and as if disappearing back into the shadows, he vanishes.
Okay. So now let's handle shopping maintenance. Did I hear that folks had some stuff they wanted to purchase? You can pretty much get with the exception of like high-end magic items, which I will give you a fair shot if you're looking for something specific.
Yeah.
But we're gonna of course use the same chart we've always used for things like that. So yeah, who wants to make some purchases?
I'm gonna go to the local shop. Okay, would healing potions be at
Like
like?
there's like an alchemist that would like stock potions and stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna hit there for healing potions.
Well, here's the
Okay,
funny part. I already have that chart. I already have that chart on mine, so I literally set that up because I knew I was gonna need to pick up more eventually.
So if you need, it depends, and you can actually get. They have any of these, and that's a fair price. So,
That was the price that
What-
I found on the chart, by the way.
that's what I figured. I knew that's where it was coming from. So, so whatever. Just is everyone's are everyone's funds like split up now? Like, does everyone have
I believe
their setup?
we,
Their
we
set.
did that already with them.
Did we divide up funds? Okay, so everybody has their stuff. So, based on those prices, then what's whatever you are looking for.
I'm gonna try and see if I can find like regular healing potions.
The 50 gold pieces, however many you want to
Okay.
without some kind of crazy we're not you can't have 100 of them because you got nowhere to hold them. But like
Aw.
realistically, let's say we'll cap your potions at like think about a potion bottle 10, and that's if you have them like in certain like sections of your pouch. So you could get up to 10 of them if you want, but you'll be carrying a lot of potions around with you.
Okay. I'm thinking probably like 3 of them.
Sure, that's 150 gold. Deduct that and put 3 healing potions on.
I got.
Anyone else can do the same if they deduct the money. It's for the 50 gold for a healing, 150 for a greater healing, 450 for superior, and supreme is 1350.
I already have. By the way, we don't need to worry about too much about potions. I still have the 4 superior and 10 greater from before. But in addition to that, I'm picking up 2 supremes because we need those kind of things.
Okay, make sure you're deducting your gold.
As soon as I had the idea in my head, I was already.
I am trusting the gold reductions for you guys. So
I
Mhm.
am very. I'm not like I will literally hold. That is one thing I will hold myself to 100% of the time.
right. So other than potions, and anyone can do that and just deduct your gold. Is there anything else you're looking to buy?
I think it was honestly for me. It was really just I really just wanted to pick up 2 supreme healing potions. That's all I really needed.
Anybody else want stuff?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm fine now.
So am
I believe I'll probably pick up potions. Maybe I'll.
Probably do that while you're out there, and just say like that.
I am just trying to add it in since it's so that's just regular healing.
You know what? Just to round out my gold a little bit, I'm also gonna pick up one extra superior, so I can have almost exactly 8,000 gold.
X
To have an extra one.
Sure.
3.
I
So
noticed I had
that's
8,450. So
150.
8,450. There we go. Got it. There we go. And that's we definitely got plenty of well, at least for now, we got plenty of potions.
That's
Okay.
150 for 3 healing, and then 300, so today my calculator's like this. I'm getting 2 greater. That's 12, 550. We can do
Like, a lot of it's just,
300,
a lot of it's just
11,750. 11,750. That's me done my math. And as the day goes by, Cairo's just going to feel a wee tap on his shoulder. Ding ding.
Of course, not
As I made my
just leaning back a little. Like, of course, like not drawing too much attention, just leaning back, just like.
You mind if we have a word, Cairo? I've done some work during the day whilst you guys have been buying potions.
Of course, getting up at that point and turning around at that point, because obviously, since I know exactly what it is now, like.
Probably best not to discuss it here. I say we retreat to the rooms.
Of course.
Can't trust too many years in these towns.
Can't try.
He goes up and he goes up to the room and explains that he's made a contract with some locals to see where this coin could have come from, and he explains confirmed it was a gambling chip from a establishment. They don't know where the establishment is, which is why they've asked for 2 days to gather the information from their contacts around. I do believe I'll probably say probably around the Sword Coast, as we don't know if it's going to be in this town specifically.
Yeah, we don't know exactly where. We just know, hopefully, obviously having been told this information, that's of course not knowing exactly where. It's going to take a little bit to find information like that randomly.
I trust these guys. They seem very, very forthcoming as soon as I flash with the gold in their eye.
Mm-hmm. That'll tend to do it.
Yeah,
As they say in the ancient tongue, money talks, the bullshit shall walk.
Right. Exactly correct. So a couple days pass. Is there any other business that anyone needs to talk about?
I guess whilst I'm here, I'll head to a tailor or a leather worker and ask to get my leather armor treated as it probably.
Well, we're not gonna. We'll role play that because we don't do things like we don't do like maintenance and like wear on armor and stuff in this game. But yeah, for role play purposes, you definitely can get your clothing fixed for all the wear that you would have had in all the fights, and your armor, cleaned up and repaired, and any small thing that might have been a problem repaired, and everything. So, so the couple days passed, and it is getting close to that time. So
I shall make my way towards the location, all in the exact same route that I did.
Of course, obviously, we're all staying back as well. Well, at least 2 of us stick out like a sore thumb.
What?
I think the whole party would stick out like a sore thumb.
What? Why are you looking at me?
No, I'm looking at you and me, DL. You're literally a warforged, and I'm a blue tiefling. We stand out.
Yeah.
And not to mention, also you have a goblin.
Well, you could.
Not to mention, if I was showing my true form, I'd look like a how do I put it? A slime.
No.
I'd basically look like a grey, malnourished human. So Vix is going to go sit down at the table with the 2 gentlemen, and he has a purse of 40 gold ready to compensate for the boys' works.
Ah, I see. So this is what Nyx's true form is.
Well, I'm pretty sure we would have probably.
Damn it, DL. So what you're saying, dear, but it's bitch, I'm adorable.
So you get there, and they see you, and they beckon you in, and he says, "I have your information," and he taps the table like as if to say, money.
Off up the coin.
Okay.
Slides the pouch.
He takes it over. He says, "This." He goes, "This coin," and he basically gives you the. He goes, "The coin you were talking about, the golden goose.
You're just
It's
going to
from
send me your notes back.
it's from one gambling hall, and we've discovered it's actually not too far.
Ooh.
It's a riverboat gambling hall.
The riverboat. Is it just called the riverboat?
Nope, it's called the Grand Dame. It sails out of Yartar. And you guys know from traveling, you know well enough what you would need to do. You're very familiar with Yartar because you actually went through there to follow the river down to Grudhog to fight the hill giant.
Yeah.
So remember, you guys stopped in Tribor, and then you went through Yartar and went down the river. That to get there, that area, that's where it's in that valley where Grudhog was. That's the just the. Let me see if I can get you.
So if we had stopped in Yartar for the night, would we have known something
If
about the coin?
if you had decided to go to Yartar like that's where you were going to go, and you showed the coin, like you might have even noticed those coins if you had gone to a bar or a tavern or whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to give you guys a quick little screen cap to show you where you're at and where you are going. Okay. We are looking at.
So would this be in the map we used to get to?
You could. I'll show you the map area where we're going, and the best way you can literally take the long road up to Tribor and follow the river down. You could catch something from there. But here is the image. It's going in the server right there. If you will look at the very bottom is Waterdeep. That's where the long road kind of ends as it goes down the high road. If you go north to Tribor, and you will go west over to Yartar. Shouldn't take you more than a couple of days of travel. You can
it's just right next to Fandalen.
You can get some horses. You can hire or purchase a wagon and horses, however you want to get there. You can walk
didn't we have a wagon horse before?
Oh, you did. And they actually might still be in Tribor. Because I think that's where you left. I think that's where you left them, where you went on foot to Grudhog.
Yeah, no.
We walked all. I thought we didn't. I thought we stopped in Red Larch.
Where?
Did we? That's just right up from where the X is on this travel to Hill Giant layer.
Let me see the thing. I will check. Make sure I am looking at the right thing.
Also, if we need a steed, hello.
Oh, you could. Yeah, well, you could get a steed for yourself, or you could get one to pull something. Looking at the map stuff.
If we get a wagon, can I please drive it?
No.
The worst part is he's the only one that can. That's the worst part here.
That's a terrible idea.
Okay, yeah. So it's oh, you did stop it. I was thinking it was actually further down. So yeah, you did go through Tribor, but it was further south than it was in the valley. So you're right. But that's the river that was being dammed up by Grudhog. So you could go to Red Larch is fine if you want to go there, or we can just say it was Tribor to get your. Anyway, you don't have wagons in Waterdeep. You don't have wagons in Waterdeep, so you can.
What to say Tribor just for ease of convenience, so I can just go.
Yeah, that way you can make it there. That's fine. It probably was Red Larch, but we can retcon that just to make it convenient for travel. So it's evening, so staying another night, and then I'm assuming tomorrow morning. Or are you going to try to travel in the evening?
I would say probably tomorrow would probably make more sense.
Yeah, we can head in the morning because it would be better having a clear mind.
Very good. So traveling. So are you going to try to get a wagon or something? Or are you trying to get horses? Or
I would try to take horses. at least with the individual horses, you can kind of like to a degree. There's more of a degree of like not control, but there's more of a degree of being able to do certain things. Because with a wagon, you kind of have to, even in certain places. With individual horses, you can actually there's certain directions we can go with individual horses that we couldn't do otherwise.
Okay, a riding horse is, which is what you're talking about, is only 75 gold pieces. So if you each want to buy one, you may. I would say that is that you all would need to get that and not get anything lesser, because that is 60 feet like per round if you were to do it in game terms. And your paladin can just magically summon a steed as he needs to, so he wouldn't need to do that.
So
but
obviously we don't need.
So if you each want a riding horse, they are very available. 75 gold pieces each, deducted, and understand you are riding a horse. But then we'll need to figure out what you're doing with them, because you have, I believe, 2 horses and a wagon in Tribor.
Yeah, I mean, like,
So-
we can obviously always like take some of the horses and like offload them if we have
You could
to.
probably sell them to farmers or people, whatever, as well. So
regardless of what we do,
Right.
I'm probably gonna end up keeping at least my horse, because like it's just good to have it's good to have someone of a stature and be able to like do stuff from an open area.
okay. All right. So taking off on the road. The first traveling day, we are going to actually move. So you're traveling along, and I know this map looks familiar, but I don't have that many road maps. So you are
Let me,
coming from the
let me-
left. I need to remove all of your bardic inspiration stuff because you don't have it anymore. So this would be a familiar map, but I just needed a road map for you.
Of course.
So on horses, everyone's on horses. I'm not going to put horses underneath you, but you're on horses, traveling. And this would be to the right. Would I guess be north, as we're looking, if this were to be orientated right.
Yeah.
There are several commoners that are. They look just like you would see town folk, like. This guy who's I'm pinging now kind of looks like a clergy. They all look human, except for this dapper fellow who looks like an elf. This guy looks like kind of like clergy. This guy looks like he's probably just a farmer, and this lady looks like very much like a farmer. They are. There's a wagon in the middle. There is. As you approach, you see that the wagon is obviously broken. What do you want to do?
I am going to stop my horse and say, "So what happened? What's happened to you? You need any help?"
Oh, and this the elf up here like approaches. He's like, "Oh, my goodness, sorry, I didn't mean to move the wagon." He goes, "I can't believe we finally have someone who's come along this road. We've been here for hours and hours. We're actually we're missing one of our companions. Our wagon's broke. No one has come by to help. Oh, you're a godsend." He just is like getting more and more excited to see you. He says, "Unless, are you brigands? Are you bandits? We don't have much."
Oh, nothing of the sort. We've dealt with brigands and bandits before, but can't say that life intrigues me. So,
He
you
said,
like some help?
he
We're
says,
kind of on our way to Tribor now, so which way are you guys heading?
he goes, we were heading to the Sword Coast. We were going to hit the larger towns and try to sell our wares. Our friend back there is also looking for a temple. We were going to drop him off in Baldur's Gate at the end of our journey. And says, the man over there is Jacob. The lady is Elaine, and they are farmers looking to sell they brew. Those are some barrels of their mead that they're looking to sell in town and potentially start a trade route for their thing. But we're missing someone.
And that's someone
They're-
being.
Their teenage daughter was taken by some creature. They went
What
north.
direction?
We tried to fight them off. They went north into this dank cave. There's a spring that leads out of it to the north, and I mean,
I thought so. They headed north. So is north going up to the cave, or is north
I'm sorry.
going
I'm
along
sorry.
the road?
Sorry. I'm orientating wrong. You're correct. Headed west.
Headed
I should
west.
just flip this. Here, we'll do this because this is gonna. It'll make me remember too. So.
It'll actually
All
make it easier.
right. And then we'll do.
So you can zoom out a bit.
And this is up. Let me do that. Control Z. And then we have. So this is. North. That makes this. Oh. That makes this. West.
Well, lads, what do you say? Do we stop
Only
for a mere
fair
moment and help these
save
people in need?
I mean,
It's only fair to save the companion.
it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to help.
I mean, obviously, we would leave one of our companions here just to be safe. Don't know
Got
if
it.
anything could come out and attack again.
He's like, oh, thank you so much. He's like, I can lead you to where we saw the creature go, if that would help.
That would help. That would greatly help. Yes.
All right. So who is going, and who is hanging out with the people there? And basically they're just like, oh, come on. They're tending to horses, and these two look like they seem very distraught.
You know, it probably makes sense for the guy with the highest charisma, aka probably me, to stay behind just to not get them to freak out more.
Okay. So go ahead and who is going up north with to be, or not, sorry, west to be
I'll put myself
taken.
to signify that I'm
Okay.
staying back, basically.
Okay. So whoever's going up, go ahead. We're approaching from this side, so don't go in the water yet. Go right over here with the dudes
that's
bringing you
water.
around. Yeah, dudes, this is like not much, but it's like there's like a spring that's coming out of the thing. Think of it, because that's what I've been doing lately. Think of Skyrim, if you've ever played those little caves that have the little water coming out of them. It's like that.
Oh, the ones that
So-
usually have spriggans near them.
Yeah, like yes, it's like a grove. Okay. So
Also-
are you going up?
Real quick.
I'm moving you over. Yes.
Oh, of course.
So he brings you back there. What is this?
Uh,
Oh, the clippy clop sound. I hear you. All right. So, and you're down here. Are you just gonna sit by the wagon, or are you gonna try to they're trying to feed horses, and this guy over here is just kind of sitting meditating?
Well, I was putting myself near there temporarily, just come out of the way.
Where are you just gonna sit right there by the barrels?
Probably
Get drunk.
walking over to the other side of the wagon and see if I can.
So, what beast, what manner of foul spawn of the...
All right. Put yourself to where you're gonna be. So right now, Hiiro, so I can move and deal with the guys up north, or up west. Okay, you're right there. All right. So he's like, he goes, it had, it looked almost like, it was humanoid, and it had all this hair, and its knuckles with claws dragged the ground, and it had this low guttural growl. He's telling you all this stuff, and he's giving you like a description of like some horrific beast. And
Doesn't mean a night out.
Hiiro, I need you to roll a perception check, please, for me.
Okay. Hey, this is a little. But
My-
okay.
my spider sense is tingling.
As are mine.
Okay,
He's
that
a
is enough.
spider sense.
That is enough. You notice in time to fortunately not be like surprised, I guess. However, as you're sitting hanging out, you you notice over here, you see what looks like a under the brush under this, like you look over under the brush, you notice what looks like a leg that has been that's almost like been tried to be covered up partially, and you even look like maybe there's like it's either blood or there's some kind of liquid on the ground around it.
Hiro's going to take a couple of minutes to reset his Discord.
Yeah.
Please
I can't
don't
believe
please,
this set.
please don't tell me
So
we
Yeah, but we've activated that trap card.
please don't tell me we wandered into or down to a couple of cannibals or something.
So Hiiro, what are you gonna do? Oh, I didn't want to play again. Okay.
Oh.
We said same time, so a couple of minutes. So here's the plan. Here's the plan here.
He described this. He says it's larger than a person. It's like he says it would be like a size of a bugbear, but it's not a bugbear. He's like, its arms are longer. It's got these claws. The teeth excreted something that dripped from its fangs. Its eyes.
Can I roll an insight check to see if he's stalling?
Sure. Okay. I mean, you don't feel like he seems to be very, like, he's given you a lot of detail. Like, he's saying this creature, like he's saying this, the fangs are dripping like maybe they're poisonous. It had a tail that I swear I saw it grab something with, so it was using it like a hand.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Can I try using divine sense?
Yes, you can use divine sense. Put the text in for me so I can see what it does exactly. Celestial fiend, and okay.
How did I do with my insight?
You believe him too. It seems like he's just is trying to give you as much information as he can so you can be prepared to fight and hopefully retrieve, if she's alive, their child.
If in that case, can I? So does the divine sense do anything?
We're no. You don't sense any fiends or celestials or fiends, undead, celestials. No, you don't sense anything.
Can I try an insight check then?
You can, to kind of see if you think he's telling the truth or not, or doing something nefarious. Okay. Maybe it's because you have been studying human mannerisms. Maybe it's because that's something you've been trying to, so you can emulate them. You do get a sense that maybe why is he giving you so much information? Why is he telling you all the details here when, really, that person, it could be killing whatever, the person the girl that it took in this cave. Why would he? So yeah, you do feel like maybe he's giving you more information than you would possibly need.
Can I try speaking then?
Yeah, you can speak to him.
Welcome back here.
With all due respect, sir, while this information is useful, wouldn't it be more efficient for us to simply go and find whatever this monster is? If someone's life is in danger, the more time we spend here, the more likely they are to be either injured or killed.
He's like, of course, but I want to make sure you're prepared. All right, switching back. Hiiro, you back?
Please be back, Hiiro.
Oh, I heard a deep, sigh.
Yeah.
Okay. Foot, leg, sticking out from under the brush.
Oh God.
Underneath this, you saw what looked like a leg and a foot. That's all you could see. You don't know what it is. There looks like it may be some blood underneath, or at least some dark liquid under the leg.
Of course.
Looks humanoid. That's all you can tell.
while keeping a slight eye on everybody else around me, I'm gonna slowly make my way in that direction to look at maybe what it fully is.
Okay. So you get about here,
Oh boy.
and you hear it, because you hear it because the sound of it almost, it sounds like wet flesh, is what it sounds like. And you turn around quickly enough to see that the three people that were standing there no longer look human.
Oh god.
Great.
They actually look very much like their features become partly human and partly like feline.
Oh.
As you see you see them become like almost a cross, like a hybrid between human and maybe some kind of cat creature.
Oh boy.
And with that,
Oh no! Oh no!
with
it's the extras from the Cats movie.
with Cairo,
Yes.
roll for initiative, and you guys will go back to this talking with this guy.
Oh boy.
And I will say, you do. Gears does feel like the dude's, doing something. Is that everybody's is that previous rolls? Yes, it is. Hold on, let me clear.
Okay. Do you want me
Yeah.
to just?
Did you roll already? So your 3 is a 3. So that's a roll. So these didn't show up right away for me. So I'm gonna add you to the turn.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else there, so I thought it was fine. So.
Yeah. So Nix is just going to look at everything and go, okay, let's discuss this. This guy's giving us information, let us plan ahead. I'm going to look at Gears. What did you see? What did your Warforged eyes see?
My divine sense didn't see anything, but it seems like this man is stalling for some reason.
Why can I not? Am I on the wrong layer? I am on the wrong layer.
All you say.
He might be on the wrong.
All right.
So with that, as Gears has just told me that,
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to get.
That's the wheel. That's the wheel. Yeah.
Nix is just going to
Go ahead.
Oh, I seem to have left my crossbow bolts in my satchel. I'm going to have to go back to my horse.
All right. So how we're going to work this, and as you do that and you start going away, you hear it, and he does this, and he goes, "It's a pity. If you just would have stayed here, we might have stopped with your friend." And yep, he turns as well into one of these like creatures.
Crap, and I know and out of character, I know exactly what these creatures are.
And so everybody roll in, and we will go from there. And you wouldn't have gotten that far. You probably about here when he decides he's not to go back without turning and trying to stop you. So everybody roll up, and we'll stop it there because we don't have time to really get into combat yet. So
I have to right click.
Initiative.
Hopefully, if these things don't, I don't think I'm going to take on 3 by myself, but I should be able to take at least 1, maybe
I rolled a
2.
20.
Oh, did you forget to click your token?
Yeah, I clicked the token.
no, that's fine. I'll get you in there. So
Okay.
Turn, and what'd you roll?
20.
20. Yep, I got you. You're covered. Let me get these other guys in, and we'll order them, and we'll start from there going back. So
Gears discovered the whole thing. The guy I bullshitting like.
Oh, the Weretigers.
Yep.
They are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
You do very much press X.
yeah. Here's the thing. I fought these guys before.
So that's where we will start next time on the road to Tribor. We will be fighting some Weretigers. So not next week though, right? Are we? So you're out. So we're gonna start doing a game without. So who do you want to? Does anyone want to play? I know that Flutter won't be here next week, but we're gonna start playing until we get to a point where we need to have everybody. We're gonna start playing with it. Only one person missing. Does anyone else think they're not gonna be here next Friday?
I don't have anything planned.
Okay.
I don't
Anybody
think
else
so.
have? Anybody else right now know a reason you can't be here Friday?
Nope.
All right, hearing none. So do you want? Is there anyone specific you want to play your character next week?
Not
Flutter?
really, no.
Okay. Does anyone want to offer to play that character?
Not it.
I'd rather not. Here's the thing. I'd rather not because since I can't. It'd be hard to handle 2 different combats like that.
Okay.
Same here.
All right. So I will then run that character, but I'm going to do basic stuff. And if you want something done specifically, I can't be doing strategic stuff. So he will be less effective under me, but I will be happy to play him if no one else wants to play him.
Okay.
Okay, good enough. All right, guys, that's it. We'll wrap it up and we'll start fighting next Friday.
Well,
I'll
Good
say one-
session.
I'll say one thing about these odds here. They're great.
So just for your info, there are in Storm King's Thunder there are 12 chapters.
All right.
We just finished chapter 10, Hold of the Storm Giants. We are now we are in chapter 11, Caught in the Tentacles. So that's where we're at now, and there's only one more chapter after this, and then we will be done with this campaign and moving on to the next. So that being said, after this fight here, there may be we will deal with like Chalice and doing maybe a one shot on this route before we continue the story.
Okay.
I will get something together. I've got some options, and we'll go from there. All right, go ahead and do the sign off stuff.
All right.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this edition of the Rising Legends Chapter 3. It's time for the sign-offs. Go!
I've been your fly flyer, what are gonna do saying storm of flyers.
I mean, if we're just going to do the order that we normally do for the sign-offs, I've been speaking Hiiro, and yeah, as you probably would have heard this like in character wise, you would have heard this kind of start screaming when he turns out he's just 3 Weretiger staring into the face. Like,
You get a feeling that might not have been their wagon.
That might not be a good thing.
Yeah,
that might have been they might have killed the previous owner considering the blood on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, Scotty?
I'm being a Crimson Thighs. I let it be known. I've always said never trust a French elf. He had the moustache, he had the pointy ears. I shouldn't have trusted him. I should have seen the signs. I should have seen the warnings.
Also, here, would you say this is you? This is you right now in character?
Let me see.
Come on.
Can I do my
Hold on. Why is it not playing?
Play whatever.
I heard it.
Yeah,
Here.
so
I had it.
anyway, Rails.
Anyway. Yep.
I've been calling podcast Sentaifan 100, and well, these guys have been suffering my shades on wrath.
No.
No.
Bad.
Bad.
Yes, I made a Ben 10 joke.
Oh my god.
Shake my head.
Yeah, but you're just disappointed you didn't get to make the Ben 10 joke.
No, honestly, that's too easy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Since when has anything ever been too easy for us? We make
And I, of course, have been in your kinds with beloved overlord rule guys for nearity between senior mighty youth. I'm just a passing through Toku fan. Remember that? That, and something tells me that these tigers are on that bouncy fun.
Yes.
You know what though?
Hmm?
Their tops are made out of rubbers and their bottoms are made out of springs.
But we know in this case that
Anyway,
they're not the only ones.
They're not the only ones. You're correct. All right, guys. Is it me?
Yes.
All right. Good job. Good work. And I'll most likely kill you next week with some Weretigers.
Well, just before we end the episode fully, this is, by the way, Kai fully character.
Ah!
Fair enough.
Oh.
Yep.
Hero, now that you've done that, you have to name your next character Wilhelm.
Anyway.
No.
Anyway, but yeah, have a good night, folks. Take care. We'll see you all next time. We might do something else tonight. Either we're gonna be doing another thing for Riffaween, or we might finally do that thing for Wizard.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
Anyway, you can go that.
All right. I'm out. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Yes, wait.
That
Okay. I have a plan of attack. I can hit all three of them. I just need to get a line of sight.
All right. I'll see you guys next week.
anyway,
Hero.
but yeah, have a good night, folks. Take care. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Laters.